Good morning. I've had my caffeine, so I can't blame it on not having caffeine. But I just can't hold it in any longer. I've been polite because I think it's professional courtesy not to call out people um, as bad as I want. When you have very little respect for them. Now, when I criticize certain hosts, it's because I have a certain amount of respect for them, and I'm hoping that they correct things. Okay, I'm rambling because I'm so fired up that I had to explain to Reagan on our drive in about the responsibility of being a radio host and not lying to your people or intentionally misleading them. So, yesterday at the Dr. King breakfast, I had an opportunity I could have gone up and introduced myself and said something I was about to say doctor, not even a reverend, and I was going to give him a doctor. Jesse Jackson walked right by me. I turned down this hallway. He had a couple people around him, and it was just a couple of us. And I just walked right past him, and I just said good morning. I didn't walk up to him and give him my card. I didn't want to go up and be fake because I can't. That's just not me. And I don't have anything nice to say to him. I know he's not going to come on my show, so I just hope to get locked in the elevator with him and Al one day, and then we can have a serious conversation. So there's a radio host, and the views expressed on this following Facebook Live have nothing to do with the station that I work for. That's why I put it on my personal page. But I'm listening. Jim from South Elgin called me and told me that this black Republican that I met at CPAC, he heard on WVON that he had passed away in a fire. And I spent a couple days battling with him because we had different political views. I didn't really view him as a Republican. That doesn't matter. So I turned to WVON because I know he used to be a contributor to the show. He calls in regularly, and I figured they might have the details because I normally never I listen to WVON every day, but not to the morning show. I just can't. I just can't. And I'll explain to you why I can't, because it's just, anyway. So I'm listening to it and hoping that the news will come on. They'll talk about it, since Richard Fair was a important part to their show at one point or whatever. So the host they're all, still in their feelings about Trump winning. And so the host says, well, somebody told me that Trump said that there'll never be another black man as president. Somebody told you that somebody said that they heard that. What? This is a person that's on the air 5 days a week. I don't know, 4 hours a day, 3 hours a day. I don't know what the responsibility of the hundreds of listeners that you reach, because it's not WLS with 50,000 watts. Let's just call it what it is. For you to say something like you think Trump said, oh, there'll never be another black president. That fear mongering that keep you on the donkey plantation by saying, did you know that Trump eats black people for breakfast? They just say any stupid thing and no one calls them out about it. It just ticks me off. So do you think if Trump had said anywhere, if he whispered in his dreams that a black man will never be president again, there wouldn't be video footage somewhere? There would be somehow a transcript somewhere, a cell phone footage of this, and you can just get to say that, and no one calls you out and taps you on the shoulder and say, that's irresponsible journalism. You can't say that. Where's the proof? And then to back it up, this caller calls in regularly, named Dan Lee, and I just put in a Facebook request for him because I'm not scared. I want him to call me. I want him to be on my show. He calls in, and he's always with the same rhetoric about the Republicans to just stop Obama from doing everything. And he talks about Obama's jobs bill and how, if this is what this guy says, and I want to hear, and I want to give him a chance. Dan Lee, come on my show, call me, text me, whatever, in Facebook me, and explain to me what you said, because what you said, maybe you didn't get a chance to explain it. He said that, if the Republicans hadn't stopped Obama with the jobs bill, each state, now listen to me, he said each state was going to give $1 billion for jobs and infrastructure. Each state. Now, where is this 50 billion? That's because it's 50 states. I know Obama thought it was 57 or whatever. It's 50 states. So, even in Common Core math, 1 billion times 50 is 50 billion. Where in the heck were you going to get this money? And then he said, and also this bill would have included cutting taxes for the middle class and working class. Well, Democrats hate cutting taxes because they don't call it taxes. They call it revenue. So how are you going to cut revenue and give every state this magical $1 billion when you get, and I'm talking to Reagan because I stopped listening to to radio, talk radio in the morning. When the 5 minute drive I have with them, I turn to Radio Disney or something. But I'm listening to these guys right before he got in the car, so I'm just so fuming, just saying idiot, and I had to explain to him. I said, these guys, this guy has this amazing opportunity 5 days a week to be on the radio. He wakes people up with information, because I know what Don Wade did for me in Roma. Every morning for 20 years, I get up and I couldn't wait to hear what he has to say, because I knew he would spend all night the day before. This man had integrity. He and his wife, they got up and they took the responsibility of being the morning show very seriously. So that's why I don't listen to this guy, because he makes me so angry. When I saw him yesterday, I went over, I introduced myself to the program producer. I knew him. I introduced him to the nice weather. The news guy, Domity, young guy, would love to have him on my show. But the other host, he wasn't there. So I'm happy that he wasn't there, because then I would have been rude. And that's why I went over. Because I have nothing nice to say. I can't even, I would say good morning and just, whatever. Because how do I not say, how do you not take your responsibility? How do you just get to lie? And after you say that you heard that somebody told you that Trump says that he'll make sure there'll never be another black president. How your boss or somebody doesn't say, hey, you need to back that up with that's not confirmed. And I said to Reagan, I said, every time I hear something, I immediately go to YouTube. How hard is that? I immediately go to the internet and say, well, let me see if there's proof, is there footage. In this day and age, there's somebody recording especially Trump, for the last year and a half or more, everything he says has been on tape. And so this guy, so they just get to say that. Did you hear? And that Trump and that, it's just that same thing that 15 years old I heard. And I'm not telling you nothing I heard. I'm telling you what I heard and experienced, so to speak. When I was 15, if Reagan wins, guys, we're going to be slaves again. I heard that repeatedly from the people in my neighborhood. And now if I walk down that same block, yeah, y'all enslaved all right in crime-infested, gang-infested neighborhood. But I'm still waiting for the Reagan administration to put me back in chains. The chains of lying to the constituents, telling them that Republicans want nothing to do with you. But only stay over here, keep voting for us. People that look like you will enslave you, will put parking meters in your shopping area, will do all this to you, but under the good guys that they care about you. And it's just, I'm sorry, I said I was going to say the person's name, but I'm not. And again, I take a big risk when you call out people on the radio, because I don't want to take off another station. What if WLS wakes up one morning and says we're going on sports, and I'm up and down the dial, maybe trying to find a job, and then people are like, didn't she just bash so and so? Well, I'm sorry, I can't think like that. I got to be honest. I don't know. I didn't go to radio school. I won a contest. They threw me on the radio. You guys are so kind. They kept listening, kept calling, so they let me stay. Go figure. So no one ever told me, well, this is how you handle professional courtesy, or this is how you. I don't know. And I try to be polite, but if once I get to know you as a radio host and I have your cell phone number, I will be texting you and telling you it's Koch brothers, not Koch brothers, since you're going to make them the bad guys that rule everything in the world. But at least say their name right. And one really good thing, Mark Wallace, who I had on the show talking about red light cameras, that man has done amazing work to try to save everybody from red light cameras in the state of Illinois. And I give Mark a hard time, but he's so kind. And every once in a while, a couple years ago, he would just yell out on the air, Stephanie Trussell just texted me and said this. But he's been so kind, and our relationship has developed over the last few years. And I don't text him as much when he's on the show. But I keep saying I want you and your co-host Ernesto to come on my show one day. I think it'll be fun. Anyway, so yesterday I'm at the breakfast, and people look different on Facebook when you have never physically met him and you feel like you know him. So he walks up to me and introduces himself, and we took a picture. Well, I took a horrible picture. I was the one that held my camera and took a selfie. I'm not like Mark, and so I haven't posted it because I always look crazy. Maybe I'll post it anyway. But Mark Wallace is an example, and a couple other ones that Brandon Johnson, who has a show on WVON, Mark Wallace, and I'm dying to meet Perry Smalls. She and I will have so much fun when we finally meet, because we have so much in common, but yet we're so different when it comes to politics. It was great to meet him and hug. I got hugs from so many people that I have given a hard time, and that's okay. But this one guy, it's irresponsible journalism to be able to say that and get away with that. I have zero patience for that. It makes me so mad. I'm so blessed to get these 3 hours, but I work so hard to try to bring truth to those 3 hours, and just don't go by something that I get hooked in by fake stories once in a while, and if I don't do enough research, and that's happened to me more often than I would, that I'm very embarrassed about, that 10 times or whatever over the last, I don't know how many years. I post a story that turned out to be fake. And so I try not to go on the air with anything because people, I said to Reagan, I said, this guy, people get up in the morning to listen to him because they trust him and they value his opinion. So when he says something like that, already 100 people have already repeated it because they trust him the same way when Rush Limbaugh said something, this man has too much to lose, and I know he's really done the research and the integrity behind it. So when I hear him say something, I believe it. So I'm thinking about those same people that get up in the morning and before they put their feet on the floor, they turn to this guy and they want to hear what he's got to say. And he just told them that Trump said that there'll never be another black president. Well, first of all, we haven't had a black president that's a descendant of chattel slaves, but that's a different story. We have a brown president, and we have how many more days, and I just cannot wait. But this safe space, I can't accept it. I can't move on. And I just think 8 years ago, if we Tea Party people, we hadn't really formed yet. But if conservatives had said, "Well, I just can't accept this guy with no background, with who is he, and he's not qualified," but there are a host of reasons why we could have just said, "Oh no, we're so racist." Why didn't Republicans just come out and say, "He's a black guy. We can't have him as president. He's illegitimate." Well, because black people are not capable of being president. Well, according to Democrats, being black is a disability, and they need to help me to get to what I need to get to, whatever, blah blah blah. But it's just like move on, accept it, and you know what? To all those members of the useless, and I dare any of you Democrats, you all scared and ran away from my page now. But tell me, please, tell me what the CBC has done for black people. On the west side of Chicago, I would love to take a camera out there and ask each one of those people walking up and down Madison Street, where I used to shop, where they have to now put in money in a meter just to shop at this, not even the same stores I used to shop at. The stores I shopped at were name brand national chains. They don't even have those anymore. And ask them, what does the CBC did for you? And you know what? Bye. Don't come to the inauguration. Good. It'll be less hot air in the room, less scrunched up faces looking mean that's been around way too long. Go somewhere with those bad wigs. Bye. Get out of the way then. We're good. People that love this country and want to support the president, maybe they don't support his ideology, but they know what this process is all about, and it's our turn now. Get out of the way. Boo-hoo. And Luis Gutierrez, I need to devote an entire show to that loser. And who cares what you... Okay, go to the border then, Louis. And again, well, he can set up a voters registration booth right at the border. Give him maps of sanctuary cities and little blue donkey pens or whatever. And that's what you could do with your time. Because that's all you care about is getting illegals here so that they can vote for the Democratic Party. Because you know what? As a result of Obama, more black people are waking up. And you know, you don't have the hold that you had on black people. It's still way too many black people systematically voting Democrat. But thank you, Obama. If people say you never say anything good about Obama, well, you know what? More black people voted for Trump. Yay. More than it voted for Romney. They realized, wait, just because you're in brown packaging doesn't mean you have our best interest, whoever our is. And I'm still waiting for the basket on my door. Oh, we got a first black president, and here's your basket of goodies, because they assume white people get all these special treatments or special benefits for being white. Because I joke that I've been married to my husband a couple decades, and I still haven't got, oh, you white, you don't have to work hard basket. Here's your money. My husband works hard every day. Didn't go to college. I know you're going to say white privilege, but you know what? He still has to get up and go to work every day. And that just ticks me off when people say that to me. Oh, your husband only got that. People in my family over the years, and know how hard my husband works. I say, oh, he only got that because he's white. Oh, really? Just don't even get me started. Well, Obama only became president because he's in a brown package. So that's that. But anyway, really quick, I had to say that you guys go on the morning show, and I'll be nice and graceful and not say his name. But that was irresponsible journalism. And Dan Lee, I don't know if anybody's going to forward this to you. I put in a Facebook request. You have an opportunity to call my show and explain to me how every state was going to get $1 billion in this magical world of let's just give out. Why $1 billion? Just $1 billion. Give everybody $1 billion. Let's give everybody $1 million. Let's just do reparations for everybody. Because they say one drop of black blood makes you black. So I'm assuming every white person has at least one drop. So let's give everybody $1 million. Reparations will all start at the same. You know, that just, I can't. Anyway, it's too early. I got a bunch of stuff to do, but I just had to say, I just couldn't hold it in anymore. Trying to be kind to that one host. He is irresponsible. And to say that, again, I started this with the fact that he revved me up by saying, well, I heard, a friend told me that Trump said, what is this? A game of telephone. That a black man will never be president again. Have a good day, guys.